This spider waits, watches for this fly. It struggles in the web, then gives up. Patiently the spider wraps him up in silk steel, a cocoon of sweet meat to be kept for supper, but not yet. Has anyone written the whole thing? Nearly? Yeah, okay, that's it.
Hi. First of all, it's a pleasure to have you here at APPI, our annual conference. You're one of the greatest names in ELT, at least as far as I can remember. How do you have the energy to keep up with everything that you do nowadays? How do you find the energy?
How do I find the energy? I don't know, frankly. I expect it's just a bad habit.
Bad habit?
Yes, I mean, I got into the habit of doing a lot, so I go on doing a lot. Yeah. Mm.
So you started teaching in 1961, right?
Well, yes, more or less.
Into it, could you tell us a little bit about it?
Well, actually, I didn't study languages or even English at university. I studied geography and geology, so it's a little bit strange. But then I joined the British Council because I wanted to work abroad, and they said, you better go and do a course in Leeds on this. And it was one of the first ones, in fact, to be done, I mean, to open. There was one in Edinburgh, and there was one in London, and there was one in Leeds, and that was it, 1960.
And here you are. You have a great interest in arts, right? Poetry, literature. How do you think that we might connect that to English teaching nowadays? Do you think that we are doing a good job?
Well, I'm encouraged because I find that there is more and more of it. And it's actually come in from the cold because, of course, in early days, literature was one of the staples of teaching, and then it went out of fashion for various reasons, and now it seems to be making a comeback, which is really good news. I mean, the sort of work that Fitcher's been doing in Portugal and elsewhere, you know, it keeps on surfacing. I went to a conference in Argentina last year, and the whole thing was based on the arts, and we're organizing a new conference, in fact, in Malaysia in September of this year, and we're just calling it, you know, teaching English as a performing art. And we have all sorts of people. We have a clown, we have a juggler, we have Jan Blake, the storyteller, we have performance poets, we have everything. Wonderful.
So teachers are accepting it?
Well, I mean, it's the first time there's ever been done anything like this in Malaysia, and it will be interesting to see what the effect is. But,
do you think that there is anything that could be done for the future when it comes to English teaching and the arts, something else that could turn up, that could also be interesting?
Well, I mean, I would like to see it becoming, you know, much more of a mainstream thing, you know, almost taken for granted, because after all, you know, you want interesting content. You know, language has no content, so you have to give it a content. So what better content than literature, you know?
And when it comes to English language teaching in general, what do you think is the next big challenge?
The next big challenge.
Yeah, we've had many over the past.
What do you mean by a challenge?
The next, I don't know. So we have mentioned the arts, so they are more and more coming into the language.
Well, I think one of the big challenges is technology, because technology has got everybody, you know, excited, but I don't think that it's been thought through yet, so that it's not really integrated in a meaningful way. I mean, people do a lot of it, but very often they do it just because the technology is there. You know, I think it was Claire Cramsch a few years ago who said, you know, we asked the wrong question. You know, instead of what we ask is, if we say, look, oh, here's this nice new piece of technology, what can we do with it? Which he says, that's the wrong question. The right question is, here's a pedagogical problem. What is the most appropriate way of solving it? Can we use some technology for that, or can we do it without?
Do you think it will be easy for all teachers to incorporate it into their lessons, or younger ones will have an advantage?
Well, I guess people who are, well, I've forgotten what they call it, people who were born, who have never known anything else. Natives, are they? I think tech natives or something? Yeah, okay. But they'll probably find it easier. But I think it's a very big opportunity to involve the students because they know more than the teacher. So, you know, so you can actually get the students as part of the thing. They're making a contribution, and it makes them feel good as well. What's more, they do it better.
Yes, many times they have more knowledge than we do. Okay, it was a pleasure.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much.